Good day, everyone. Today I will be presenting my cybersecurity awareness part. So, this application was designed to educate users about cybersecurity topics such as phishing, passwords, ransomware, privacy, and more through an interactive chatbot experience. So, the project started as a terminal application and later evolved into a fully functional GUI desktop application using C Sharp and Windows Forms. The goal was to create a chatbot that is educational, interactive, visually appealing, and capable of natural conversation. So let's talk about the GUI design. I chose a cybersecurity inspired theme. I used a black background, green text, and white text for the user. The black background and neon colors create a hacker-style cybersecurity atmosphere, while the white user text improves readability and contrast. I also added ASCII art during or after the startup to make the application feel more immersive and visually unique. Let me show the ASCII art real quick. So here's the ASCII art in the code. So important files added for the GUI are main forms right here. It's the main GUI file of the application. Its responsibilities are to display the chat interface, handle user input, display chatbot responses, manage buttons and layouts, and connect the GUI to the chatbot logic. This file acts as the bridge between the user and the backend chatbot. So let's move over to the second file here. Conversation Manager. So this file manages the conversation flow and context. It's responsible for tracking the current topic, remembering the previous topics, tracks the user's intent, and also allows natural follow-up responses. So for example, if the user says, "Tell me more," or "Give me another tip," the chatbot can understand the context instead of treating it as an unrelated message. This helps makes the conversation feel more natural and less robotic. Before I continue here, so let me give a quick disclaimer. I won't bore you with the file structure and what the other files I won't touch on. That's for you to read in the README file. The README file is very descriptive here. It's the README file. The README file is very descriptive. It tells you about the project structure and what all the other files here are responsible for. So let's continue. Apologies for that small skip right there. I had to jump between files. So let's continue. So this file right here handles memory recall. It stores the user's information, tracks the conversation history, and personalizes chatbot responses. So for example, if the user says they're interested in phishing or any other topic that the bot covers, the chatbot can remember that information and can refer back to it later. Let's move over to another file. So this file right here stores the user's preferences and interests. It works together with memory service. But yes, and its responsibilities are to store the user's favorite cybersecurity topics, remembers the user's interest, and keeps memory active throughout the whole session. This improves personalization and user engagement. This file right here, sentimentanalyzer.cs, handles sentiment detection. Its responsibilities are to detect emotional tone in the user's messages, identify whether the user is worried, frustrated, curious, or neutral, and adjust its responses accordingly. So for an example, if the user says they are worried about phishing, the chatbot responds in a more supportive and empathetic way. This makes the chatbot feel more human and interactive. So this file right here, theme service.cs, manages the GUI styling and themes. Its responsibilities are to control colors and themes, manage the cybersecurity visual appearance, and ensure consistent styling throughout the application. This helped create the dark cybersecurity themed interface. So let's talk about the special features here. So the important features included in the chatbot are memory recall, sentiment detection, tip tracking, a flexible conversation flow, GUI interaction, typing effects. Okay, the code for the typing effect is here in the main form files, but I have it turned off at the moment because there's a glitch I have to fix. And there's also the ASCII art. Let me show you real quick. The ASCII art pops up after you've given the chatbot your name, and voice screening support. So all of these features help make the chatbot more interactive and realistic. And there were challenges faced during the development, and those challenges are the GUI responsiveness, conversation flow bugs, the memory recall issues, the typing effect glitch, like I've just mentioned right now, and making the chatbot feel less robotic because it was so heavy on the keywords. So these were solved through refactoring, better conversation management, and improved context tracking. So I will just go over here. So to run the program, you can either run it in your terminal and say .NET run, or just go into the release files and click on here. So let's first check the memory recall feature. So I'll tell the bot that I'm interested in fishing right now. And let's ask the bot what topic to recall the topic. The chatbot is able to remember and recall the information to personalize the information. It can also update the memory if the user changes its interest later in the conversation. And one important thing to note is that the chatbot can only recall cybersecurity topics that it already recognizes and supports. So let's say I'm interested in soccer. You see, it can only remember these 10 topics right here. So next, let's test the sentiment detection feature. So I'll tell the bot I am worried about privacy right now. So the chatbot can detect emotional tone, in this case worry, and it responds in a more supportive and empathetic way instead of giving a generic robotic response. And on top of that, it also gives you a tip. The chatbot can cover other sentiments or emotions such as frustration, curiosity, and positive sentiment keywords. This helps make the interaction feel more natural and conversational. So as shown here, the chatbot combines cybersecurity education with interactive conversational features through both backend logic and a graphical user interface. I'll include the GitHub repository link in the description of this video so you can, explore the project yourself, review code structure, and better understand the implementation details. This presentation was mainly intended to highlight the key features while keeping the demonstration short and straight to the point. So yeah.